Hey, so today we are with a trapeze artist all the way from Israel. I have Stav here with me. Stav, how's it going?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you. So, Stav, tell us what happened in the last few months with you coming here and having to go back.
Well, I was just training in Montreal. I was planning to be there about 6 months, but the coronavirus came, and then from one day to another, I just needed to book a flight and take it back home before I'm gonna be stuck in Canada for I don't know how much time doing nothing. So yeah, like all my plans got canceled basically, and I just went back home.
So, what are you doing now in Israel? Like, how are you pivoting into this new reality?
Well, I decided not to get super sad or depressed about the fact that I cannot do swinging trapeze. So I was just taking some courses in the university to become a personal trainer in this time, so I can use this time right.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching and I'm practicing other things. Well, basically, I'm just doing everything I can to use this time and not waste it.
So, like, what made you pursue trapeze? Like, what is it about it that got you into it?
Well, you have to try it for the first time, and then you'll leave your job and come joining me
Oh yeah.
in Laval. I don't know how to explain it. It's like the feeling, that I have to do this, and I am like it's meant to be.
How do you go about everyday life? So I imagine it's very much a physical, it's an athletic thing very much. So I'm wondering, like, what does a typical day look like for you?
Before coronavirus or now?
I guess both. Like, maybe you can try. You can tell us what it was before and what it looks like now.
Well, before basically I was changing a lot of places, like countries. So I can tell. So every time it was different. I never have something very very firm for a long time. But in Canada, like in Montreal, I was just waking up, doing warming up, eating, cooking healthy food, and then I was just went to the studio of Victor, and I was there for 8 hours training,
Wow.
and then I came home.
Yeah.
I had nothing else, nothing else basically, really, and it was like this for 3 years, different countries, different situations, but basically just everyday training, and then in the weekend just having some fun to travel or relaxing. Sometimes I was so tired I cannot go out of my bed, but
Yeah.
sometimes I had some energy. But coronavirus changed everything, so now my life is pretty different now.
So do you don't train as much right now? Or are you kind of like laying low in the training department?
No, I made my own gym in my porch.
Yeah.
So basically, I hang here the um, slack line, which is like this thing you can
Yeah.
walk up on for balance, and I have a lot of weights and everything. So I had everything here, and I was training every day, a lot of hours actually,
Yeah.
even more for some days
Okay.
than normally because I had nothing to do. But now because I'm here, I started to learn in the university, and I'm starting to teach online, like on the Zoom, and I'm doing this really rehabilitation,
Yeah.
going to the physiotherapy a lot
Yeah.
now because it's time to take care of my body, which is really cool. Um, yeah. So and I'm with my family, which didn't happen for 4 years,
Oh,
and this
good.
is another really cool thing.
So how do you spend your time mostly? Like, is it you're talking a lot about exercising, doing these different things, but is there other aspects of being a trapeze artist that you have to take in consideration outside of physical training?
Well, it's a lot about the
Yeah.
mental preparation, and sometimes it become there's many, well, it's depend on times, but there's sometimes if it's before audition or just the training goes bad because it's never the same, or sometimes it's just you miss family or I miss home. So it's depend a lot of mental difficulties, I can say.
Yeah.
When I was in Montreal, for example, where I was more stressed and more like, so I was meditating 2 times a day actually, like every morning and every evening. And then I was doing yoga and I was writing and drawing.
Yeah.
So sometimes just drawing like, mandala,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So just coloring it, or sometimes just drawing. And I think these four things help me the most coping with everything. But in the end, it's a lot of like talking with friends and family, and like finding your new like society, or like your new friend at every place. It's like really important. Although there's no time, it's really important to put time for it. And this is another thing I learned when I was in Canada, like especially in Canada, because it's cold and depressing. Even though like you want to train and you want to be so good, but then in the end, if your mental health is not good, it doesn't matter how much you train, because you're gonna get injured and you're gonna be bad.
Yeah.
So it's like the balance between. Yeah, so I have like my big goal, like I call it like the far goal, like the super big goal, which is to go into Cirque du Soleil. But it's hard. I find it hard to, when it's something that is so far away from you, it's very hard to keep motivating. In one point you cannot watch every day the videos. It doesn't work. So I do have this huge big goal, and this is why I do everything. But then I try to make small, achievable goals in my daily life.
Yeah.
So I have much more motivation. So sometimes it could be like something technical about the trapeze. Sometimes it could be like, depends. Every time is something different. But yeah, it's really, for me, I find it very helpful, And again, it sounds weird, but for me, Canada was one of the hardest countries to live in, because it's so cold and pretty depressing, and like, so I needed a lot of small goals and a lot of small missions, so I can be like, okay, there's a good reason I'm still in Canada, because it was very hard.
You find it was hard to live in the environment, the harsh environment of Canada.
Yeah, like very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge, cold, and there's no sun, and I'm coming like, from a country which is like this all year, like desert and vibes, and so.
Yeah, yeah, you were missing the sun. Poor girl, she was missing the sun. I get you. So is that what you find the most challenging? Is to kind of always keep that mental state, to try to achieve one thing after the other, even though the goal, as you say, is kind of still far off, but it's every day kind of challenging yourself to go from step one to step two to step three.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like every day to find a way to become motivated and to put your energy. And then in the same time, when it's not happening however you want, it's like maybe it's more hard to accept, when it's not perfect, when you're not training as fast as you can, and you're having like one week which is super hard. And then in that point, I think if you accept this, accept that it's not perfect and it's hard, it's gonna be easier to go over it, And if you're gonna like don't accept it and make yourself feel worse and worse, and so you're going into this loop of like down and down and down. And it happened to me before, so this is why I feel like I try to put more and more focus as I train and train more, as I grow up.
Yeah, absolutely. So is there something that you would like to change? Like, what are you currently working on, whether it's within yourself or your career, to get closer to that goal?
Well, basically, I feel like for me, the thing I need now is just to train on the trapeze with Victor, like in Canada. Like I feel like I'm closer than ever. You know what I mean? Like I had when I started, I made like this thing. I put it on the wall with the steps, about what I need to do until I get there. And like the last step before it was to go train with Victor.
Yeah.
And so I'm there now. I was there, and I just to train with him.
Yeah.
I need the corona to finish, but I mean, I think this time, like this corona time, gave me some more perspective about you know, I was so focused about one thing and I forgot there is like huge life, you know, there is so
Yeah.
many things, so many people and countries. Like, so I mean, I feel this time was very good for me to like relax and accept what happened, because in the end we cannot control anything, and you don't want to leave all your life for one goal that is super, you know, far, and then like forget about the rest. So, and I'll need
Absolutely.
to go back soon, and I need to find a way to do it without getting to the winter depression, which I didn't know. I don't
we
know how to do
we
it.
know you miss it. We know you miss us. Stop acting. So you said a few things that I really liked, like understanding that there's a bigger world, because we all get so caught up in whatever it is that we're doing, you know, whether it's pursuing a passion or just, you know, the day-to-day routine. I'm curious to know what you thought was out there that you weren't seeing beforehand.
Well, if you talk about like physical thing, I started to do like this slackline thing, and I learned some new skills in circus that I before I was always like I just like swinging trapeze and there's nothing else in the world exists, you know. And now
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I have nothing to do, I cannot swing, so I
Right.
started to handstand and I put my energy in other things. But except that, I was like I had some free time, so I was traveling in the south, like in the desert, and then I went to the north, and then like you know, I had some time, so I was reading about like the environment and a lot of things that I care about, and then it helped me to like you know think that there's something bigger than just me and myself and I, you know,
Yeah.
like just me and all my stupid goals and everything. So there's like there, you know, there's huge space, and there's like so many people and so many things. I don't know. It's just you know, now with the corona in Israel, I don't know how it is in Canada, but a lot of people like having hard time like with money, and there's a lot of people, you know, becoming like poor and whatever. So it gave me like some perspective of, you know, there's so many, you know, you can just help other people, and if you make you're gonna feel the same good as if you do double pirouette on the trapeze. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
there's other way to feel good, and just you know like go out of yourself for a second. I mean, just traveling made me see, like traveling in the nature made me see there's so much more, you know,
Yeah.
than just like these four walls of the studio
Yeah.
and training and training.
It's also like success doesn't seem as important in times like these, you know, like pursuing your own personal development is one thing, but you realize that, you know, it's not the end all be all of everything, and it shouldn't necessarily take over everything. So I feel like it's kind of where you're getting at, right?
Yeah, yeah, and then in the end, like if I get into Cirque du Soleil, which I hope I do, I mean, it's another thing. You know what I mean? It's like a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, and then the coronavirus come, and all the people in Cirque du Soleil cannot work anymore. I mean, and then everything you build your whole life on is just collapsing because it's just one more thing, you know. And then if in the inside you're not good, doesn't matter if you're in Cirque du Soleil or you're in the desert playing the guitar and eating, you know, vegetables you create your. I mean, like it doesn't really matter. It's just
Mm.
matter how you feel right now, like in the process. And this is something I missed when I
Yes.
was there in Canada, you know, doing it all the time and never going back and look like, there's so much, you know, like.
Yeah. Talking about, you know, traveling all over the world. What's your favorite place in the world, and why?
Well, actually, there is the desert in Israel. There is just like there is a specific place. It's called Sdeboker. It's like a point there. It's just like a we have just full on park desert that doesn't really have a name, but then we have specific spots inside.
Right,
So
right,
one of
right.
them is Sdeboker. Yeah.
Cool. Amazing. Let's end it on one last question. So, as a trapeze artist that's probably been around a few interesting characters, and you've been around the world, tell us a crazy story before we leave here that would probably be entertaining for our viewers here.
A crazy story. Wait, I need to think about it for a second. Let me think.
Take your time.
I have one story.
Go.
So fast. So we were like, I was in a circus school in Italy for 2 years, and we were doing like our final year show. So it was like in Italy, in Torino, in the in the summer, you know what I mean? Like super hot, like we were all sweaty every day. We were training in this weird place. There is like nothing there, just like, you know, like factory buildings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we were just training there. And we had like a lunch break, and we were all our class. It was becoming like the end after 2 years that we, you know, we spent every day together, and it's becoming like sad. And then like we were sitting outside eating on the floor, and there was again nothing around us. And then in one point, like just for like in 1 second, all the sky became like raining, but like, you know, with like the ice cubes, like huge rain,
Yeah.
crazy
Yeah.
rain, like
Sleeting.
in the
Yeah.
middle of August, in the middle of the summer. We were like all like we were running into like this like thing to hide from the rain, and we're like, what the fuck are we gonna do now? Like we need to train, we need to work, and we cannot even move. Like crazy rain, like one of the most crazy rain I ever been. And then my friend, we were like 20 people in my class, my friend just like took her clothes off and started to like run in the rain, you know. She's like, whatever, we don't care about it anymore, we all the way with. And then people got to started to get naked, and everybody got naked, and we were starting to like practice in the rain and dancing and singing and like doing circus and hand to hand handstand and like crazy. And then we filmed it and we put it in the part of our end of the year show actually. And it was like a really cool moment with like the coolest people I ever met in my life, basically. So I think it's something I will never
Amazing.
forget.
I definitely think that counts for a crazy story. Thank you. I mean, what are we doing here? That's our question. But amazing, amazing talking to you, Stav. Thank you so much for doing this, and definitely we will keep in touch with you and what you're doing and what you're up to, whether in Israel or coming back in your favorite place in the
I'll
world,
be back. I'll
Canada.
be back.
Of course. So thank you so much for doing this with us. It was definitely very insightful to learn more about what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for taking me.
So stay safe in Israel.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.